I think I'm asking a little bit too much of my little lawnmower here. My husband is gonna kill me. I can't create this big of a load. Not a good idea. Visionary leadership starts with taking responsibility for all you see before you, and taking responsibility also for, I let it slide, I didn't provide leadership, I wasn't paying attention, I trusted people to look after my business that may or may not have been up for it, and only if you take full responsibility for that can you now turn it around. I wouldn't mind a little tractor that can handle this kind of stuff with a bucket. I wasn't respecting the limitations of this contraption, my little lawnmower and a little dump wagon. So I loaded up way too heavy and I had a lot of trouble getting up here. But oh well. The first characteristic of a visionary leader is learning from one's mistakes. And in order to learn from your mistakes, you first have to admit, like, oh, okay, well, that was a mistake. If you don't admit your mistakes, if you don't acknowledge your mistakes, then you can learn from your mistakes. If you can learn from your... Well, that was a mistake. If you can't admit to your mistakes, then you can learn from your mistakes. And if you can't learn from your mistakes, then you just, whatever, stay put where you are. You don't grow, you don't expand, and you stop being a leader. There's no new horizon to explore anymore because you're not learning anything. See if I can get this thing up there. Now that I offloaded some of the weight, let's see. That's a lot of rocks and I'm not done yet. Oh boy. Anyway, it's shaping up. There is light at the end of the tunnel. I'm collecting it all up and heaping it on one big pile so that I can see the ground and find all the debris and the stones in here. And then once this stuff is gone, I can go over it with the sai again And certain areas I can now even mow, especially when I know for sure I took out all the stones. And this time I will make sure I don't overload my little wagon here, because my lawnmower is not up for it. Pure thistle and a lot of seeds. Een ezel stoot zich in het gemeen niet 2 keer aan dezelfde steen. An ass doesn't usually knock himself at the same stone, roughly translated from Dutch. In other words, even a complete idiot doesn't make the same mistake twice. Let's see if I am making the same mistake twice. I guess this makes me an ass. And now I have to deal with the consequences of such assness. Making the same mistake twice. Oh, more stones. This is a very heavy branch. Maybe this is doing the trick. Sometimes you just have to deal with the consequences of your own stupidity. Let's see, it seems to be quite hung up, but maybe this is doing the trick. I think I called victory too fast. What did I hit? At least the mower jack wasn't running. A visionary leader is profoundly in touch with his or her own humanity is profoundly in touch with being fallible, and therefore isn't very keen to judge. Because as you judge, so shall you be judged. And once you get present to all the numerous ways in which we all screw up on a daily basis, you may want to develop a little bit of compassion and a little bit of humility. So there, we're only human. James Comey has a beautiful scene in his book, A Higher Loyalty, in which he describes a scene in the Situation Room. Some yahoos were there. There was a very tense and extremely dangerous situation happening, hence the Situation Room. And he looked around the room and had a profound realization that he described as, it's just us trying to figure things out. Realizing that there are no superhumans that somehow are better than everyone else. It's just us trying to figure things out. And leading from that sense of humility is what visionary leaders do. They are profoundly in touch with their own humanity and willing to admit their mistakes, willing to admit when they were not paying attention and screwed up. Right, those ones. I forgot about those ones. They're nasty and they're not coming out, and thank God the mower deck was not running, because otherwise Jeff would have killed me. I need to mark these. Absolute astounding amount of debris that I'm pulling out of this little paddock here.